Yes, here we are.
Welcome to AEC Stories.
Yes.
We are in San Francisco, and I'm hanging out with McCauley.
Yes, this is McCauley. How's everybody doing?
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful day out here in the city today.
And you're in deck department. You came on the
Yes,
ship.
deck. Yes.
So we'll start from the beginning.
From the beginning of
Where did you grow up? You grew up
I grew up in Petaluma, it's a little town 45 miles north of San Francisco.
Okay.
It's Butter and Eggs Day Parade. It was like
Wine country.
Wine country, wrist wrestling championship of the world kind of thing. Ugly dog contest, and known for chicken farming.
Chicken farming.
Yes.
Which is
Originally, yeah, but they did away with all that back in the day when they discovered that they didn't want to contaminate the water table.
Oh yeah.
And the city was too close to that, so they just shipped them all out to, I think it was Indiana somewhere. That's where all the farms are now.
So you kind of grew up a little bit of a California country boy.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it was like a little hick town, and it was kind of like the thing about living in Petaluma was when summertime would roll around and there would be like absolutely nothing to do. Nothing at all. You'd nothing to do. And your parents, pretty much all your friends' parents worked in the city and would commute from Petaluma to San Francisco, which probably took about an hour and a half to get to work on the bus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So did you used to come out here on the weekends when you were a kid?
Yeah, I got my
High
parents.
school?
My dad would bring me out here a lot. He didn't like coming out here too much because he worked out here, and he was always like, "Oh, the city, man." I didn't like driving in the city. Didn't want to be here, and it's probably why I don't own a car in the city today, because you don't really need one.
Well, the parking tickets alone, bro.
You're looking at like, I know someone who spends like $3,000. He was spending $3,000 a month just on parking tickets, but talking about a guy who would park anywhere. He didn't care. He would park his car and just like didn't matter.
I came out here to visit my wife before we got married. She was living here, over in the not Marina. What's the Ocean District? Kind of, over by the water. If we go back here, we go west.
You're talking about Hunters Point,
No,
Bayview, Dog Patch.
No, I'm not even familiar.
Oh, okay.
Well, anyways, kind of near the Presidio.
Okay, nice
Yeah.
little area.
Yeah, well, I go park my car, and just because my wheels weren't turned a certain way, ticket. I park another place perfectly, ticket. Some other
You're too close to the curb. You're not close enough to the curb. Hey.
everything for a ticket.
I once got a ticket for I stopped the van because my buddy was like, "Hey, go get us some coffee." I'm like, "Okay." Nowhere to park. I double park. I go into the coffee shop. I'm coming back with my coffees, and the guy's starting to write the ticket, and I'm like, "Hey, whoa! No need for that. I'm right here." And he's, "Oh man, too late. I already wrote it." And I'm like, "Well, I just went in for coffee, man. Come on." And he was like, "Well, that's an expensive cup of coffee there. $75 later for just for that coffee, just for that little incident."
That's why I took the BART here today. I wasn't even going to pay. I was going to pay, but you know what? It was like $16 to pay for parking and the BART. So I could have drove here for. Well, no, it would have been $5 on the bridge.
Call an Uber.
$20 in parking. Well, from where I live, that would have been like $50-$60.
No.
So I'm like, nah. I took the BART from Walnut Creek, and I had to drive 20 minutes for parking. But that's the world we live in now. It used to be an easy drive here. Probably would have taken me 25 minutes back in the day.
Oh well, yeah.
Now there's traffic, and it's different. But you held it down here, so
Yeah. I'm liking it out here. I mean, yeah,
you're a man of the city, man.
It's a little frustrating sometimes. It's like, when you're trying to make it all work, and you're talking to some of your friends and people are like making like $15 an hour, and they're talking about paying like $1,800 a month for rent for a room in the not so good part of the city.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
Talking about the TL.
There's people that'll live like 3 people in a room.
Yeah.
And the other roommate's like, "Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it. I need my room."
I shared my room a little bit just to cut down, save some money on rent once, and then you kind of work it out with the person. Like, you got the room on these days, I got the room on the. Okay, yeah, cool, all right, good.
Yeah.
As funny as that is, it's a reality. I mean, yeah.
This is like Monaco now.
Yeah,
Because Monaco, where the uber rich live near France.
Yeah,
It's like it's like a royal little enclave, and There's nothing less than $1 million there. Well, there's nothing less than $1 million here.
You can buy a $2 million fixer-upper.
Yeah.
Put $1 million into it and still like be like, oh wow, I live in the city. Hey, this is great.
Yeah, this place, I've never been able to leave here. I sat here with a buddy one night, and he hadn't traveled much, and I go, dude, you need to travel, see the world. He goes, why? I live in the most beautiful city in the world. And we were looking at the same kind of view we're looking at right now. We see the Bay Bridge. When you're Pier, what is that? Pier 7?
Pier 23, where the Mount Hood was, like when we were stationed out here, is right around the way there.
So
that whole area has changed up. You wouldn't even recognize it now.
Oh, I know. I'm familiar.
You come down here
there.
from remembering what it looked like back in the day.
It's condo town.
Come out here now, we're talking like high rises and like condos and like expensive living and then right the ballpark and oh my God. I remember when the barge was parked there, walking off the barge, and it was just like straight up like out of a ghetto movie
Industrial.
scene.
Looked like you were in the Warriors movie.
I looked across the street. And I was like, "Oh my God! If we could just buy that parking lot, empty parking lot, we would be set. All we had to do. I mean, granted, it was like a impossible feat for us back then, but it would have been worth it.
Well, we've had a huge population influx here due to high tech. Google moved in 15,000 people.
Yeah, that kind of changed things.
15,000 six-figure people who probably parlayed together 2 to 3 at a time to buy $1 million houses.
Yeah.
When they moved here, because I used to do real estate.
Yeah, that totally.
There was maybe 200 houses for sale, and you move in 15,000 people, plus the people that live here already.
Yes.
Plus the other high-tech companies.
It totally changed the game.
You have 100,000 people fighting over 200 houses a month. And then they started going into the rentals, and then they started driving their buses in the city and clogging up traffic. Yeah,
it's like the opportunities that people had in the 70s are like dreamland compared to what people are dealing with today. There's 100 million more people competing for that piece of pie, and it just makes it that much more like frustrating a little bit for some people. Yeah,
I think so. You gotta hustle to survive out here, and this is I don't know how long. See, because the thing that happened in Monaco, I make that comparison. Everybody had to commute to work. There's none of the service workers, the coffee people, shops, and all that stuff live in that town. They have to drive like 40 miles to come get their coffee gig on, and they live outside of the border of that little place. And that's what this place is like. So people move. As funny
as that is, it's not funny for the people doing it. And I feel bad for them. But oh my gosh, I was living right next door to where I work at. I usually was in those kind of situations most of the time. I'd roll out of bed and be at work in like 3 minutes and going, and then looking at people that like, man, I live way over there and I got to do this and that. And they're like, they're commuting in.
Oh, yeah. This is your city, people. We're talking about where you used to live on the Mount Hood. So what got you to join the Navy? How did you pick the Navy, not the Army, not the Marines?
Well, no, I looked at all of them. I did look at all of them. I talked to and ran them through the ringer. I mean, I took each like recruiter and made them work for like their
what am I going to get? What you going to give me?
Meanwhile, like my dad's like, hey, this guy's calling. He wants to offer you a job. And I'm like, it's the freaking recruiter, man. Yeah. He don't want to offer me a job. He wants me to sign up for the Army or something or some shit like that. And I was like, oh my God, what? And eventually I got to the point where I was like, I got out of high school. I was already out of high school and going to the junior college. Thinking, oh yeah, this is great. Go to the junior college, take some classes and do some art classes or stuff because I do like to do art and stuff. Yeah. And started going to the junior college, and it wasn't much different than what I was doing in like high school kind of thing, except it was farther away and the same kind of routine.
You weren't seeing any uptick in your skill set growing.
So I'm just like, oh my.
No inspiration. Kind of. This is no better than high school art class.
Actually, some of the people in my art classes in high school were actually better than the people I was like seeing in art class at the JC.
So you were paying to get lesser quality instruction.
Yeah, it was just like, oh my God. So I just was like going to the JC for school, and I wasn't actually going. Eventually, like a few weeks into it, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go like somewhere cool and hang out and just like draw the scenery or something. I don't know, something. This is just too much bullshit for me to deal with. So That went pretty good. I was having fun with that until my first report card showed up in the mail.
Yep.
And, yeah, and then that kind of got passed around, and it didn't go over so good.
Well,
so good.
Artists are really not focused on the other parts of the academics.
No, not at all.
It's a creative medium. I mean, look at all the other artists of different kinds, like high tech. You know, look at all the guys that quit college, like Bill Gates and the Facebook guy. They all dropped out of school because they already knew what to pursue.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like,
they're calling.
So then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to an art school. I'm gonna go to the Academy of Art.
Pretty expensive place.
Yeah, really pricey. Even back then it was pricey. Today couldn't even imagine.
Probably $45,000 a year. Who knows?
Yeah, it takes about 6 years to get a degree.
Wow.
I was working full time and going to school full time. For a 4-year degree, it took about 6 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's like, oh my God. So I'd work nights and go to school during the day.
So, from JC, you go to the recruiter.
So I'm going to the recruiter because if I join the Army or the Navy or one of the militaries, I could then get my own student loan. And then I could I don't have to be attached to my parents because my parents wouldn't co-sign, and you got to be out on your own for 2 years to qualify for a loan on your own and stuff. And
to show low to no income.
Yeah, I'm just like, whoa, this is kind of messed up. So then the recruiters told me what they had to offer. And it was like the Marines were going to do 4 years for the same amount of college money that the Army was going to do. And the Navy recruiter was like, hey, check this out.
Yeah.
We got a 2-year program, and you can join on the delayed entry program. I was like, what delayed entry program? All right, talk to me. Tell me what's up with this whole thing. What do I got? Okay, yeah, all right, I think, all right. And then kind of strung them along a little bit and thought about it. And then one day just had enough and was like, you know what? I'm doing it. I'm gonna join. I'm gonna do it. Yeah, this is. See what happens, man.
You didn't know what to expect.
I didn't even know what was happening.
Did you have any visions in your mind, like, the Navy's cool, I get to go out on a ship, at least I'm not stuck in the field?
Man, yeah. It's like, oh, man, yeah. And I don't have to, I can do 2 years versus 4 years for the same amount of college money. This is a no-brainer. If I'm going to do it, I'm joining the Navy because that's the one. And I'm going to get to see the world and travel, and it'll be like on a cruise ship and stuff. It'll be great, man, yeah. So I went on the cruise ship. I was like, I'm on a cruise. And went to San Diego for my boot camp.
How was boot camp for you?
Oh, boot camp was it was great. It wasn't great at the time, but...
What time of year did you go?
It was right during Christmas. I was in boot camp on Christmas.
Oh, you missed the major heat, because I had a few guys on that went there. They went there in the summer, and guys were falling out from heat exhaustion.
So I remember I'm in there. It's kind of like what I imagine jail would be like. You're walking in single file, and they're getting in your face and yelling at you, looking at you like you're crazy or something. Like, oh yeah. And then so they're marching you in single file. They're like, you will march in single file, and then they're like, you will stand on the black. This whole thing has got black checkered, white and black checkers in the floor, and then you will stand on the black checker. And when we call your name, you will tell us what your social security number is. If you do not know your social security number, you will stand in the back of the room. And you're like, oh, okay. And there's no O's in the Navy. In the military, we got no O. You say 0. And you say, yes, sir. You're like, all right, okay, yeah, that's cool. Man, what's up with these guys? What year?
So what year is this?
This was 1991. No, 1990. 1990, yeah.
During the Desert Storm.
Desert Storm. I was actually in boot camp during the actual Desert Storm.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is another, oh my God, wow, now we're at war now. Wow, this is great, hey.
Full action movie.
Yeah, wow. But, I think the war ended just before, the couple days before I got out of boot camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a trip.
Yeah, that was
refreshing.
Yeah, it was kind of like, whoa, wow, hey.
So boot camp, did you make any friends there? Or any
I got some good friends that I made. I made some good friends in the boot camp that I still talk to today.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find one of my friends. He was the best man at my first wedding, and then I had a couple more weddings.
Yeah, with our whole online lifestyle that we live, it shouldn't be too hard to find just about anybody.
Well, I don't know if he had some kind of cancer, I think.
Oh, well.
So,
yeah, that's the other thing. A lot of people on our boat came down with cancer, and they're no longer with us, man. And they're
there's a lot of different sketch things they don't know what caused this illness? Was it being in Hunters Point around military waste? Was it the asbestos?
Was it the lead paint? Was it this, that? Yeah, who really knows? We don't know. But it was just kind of sad to see people that are like your own age that are like all of a sudden when there's like 4 of them, 5 of them from the same boat we were on, and you're just like, whoa, wait a minute, that guy wasn't really that. Well, I mean, it wasn't in the grand scheme of it all.
Well, you couldn't really tell what
old.
Things were going to be till time played out. But so boot camp was okay. I mean, was the fitness
boot camp
too hard?
Was pretty fun. I mean, it was boot camp was kind of a trip. I got to do several different things while I was in there. I got to train with the Navy SEALs for a little bit. That was definitely a.
They made you work out.
They work you out pretty hard. They want to see you puke, basically. They want to see it. They're like they're waiting. They work you out to the point where their guys are like power puking. They call it. And just watch out for if you're in front of somebody that's puking behind you, just kind of get out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're seeing them and you're like, I don't want to work with them.
I was like, I think I'm good. You know what?
Okay, yeah, you guys more working out,
all
throwing
good.
up. I'm not into that.
I like working out and all, but there's extremes.
Where did you went to Seaman A school or Seaman school?
Went to what was that? One of the A schools or something. That was another.
Seamanship. Like
that was another one where like, they'll be like, you got to have your pencil, you got to have this, you got to have that. If you don't have it or you say something that pisses off the wrong person, then you're like the whole class is doing jumping jacks in plays where like at their desk kind of thing.
Maybe they were getting more hardcore around that because I interview people from different times, and if it's around wartime, they're probably pushing to toughen you up a little more.
Yeah, it was great because
it might have been more casual at different times.
One time if they caught you sleeping in the class, because I had like a stanchion right by me, so I could like kind of sleep a little bit, and like they didn't see me. If you got caught, they'd make you do jumping jacks in the back room just for as long as they want. They're like, just go. And then your dog tags would make this noise that you're doing. So eventually, when they're not looking, when no one sees you, you just you're just jingling your dog tag, just kind of. And then someone signals that they're coming by, you just start going again. Yeah.
Shaking the dog.
And they're like yelling, I want to see these windows sweat.
Yep.
Come on, let's go. You guys aren't working out. And you're like, oh my God, really?
So how was going to the school right after boot camp? You got party with your buddies or?
Oh yeah, right out. I mean, you're right out of the gate. You haven't partied the whole time you were in there. Remember, we were like, it was like 3 months. Hadn't heard music. Hadn't heard music in 3 months.
Yeah.
So we were like, they give us the right like ability to like, they're like, here's a radio. You guys can listen to the radio for like an hour today.
What a luxury.
I'm like, wow. So first song we turn on, Pink Floyd, Time, Wish You Were Here, came on the radio right when it was turned on. And it was just an incredible moment, man, in time. It was time.
I think we all had our soundtrack back then.
Wow, yeah.
We all do. I have a soundtrack from PI, which was Soul to Soul, Back to Life, Back to Reality. It was a trip because I was like, you kept thinking like, this is a trip. I'm on this crazy island. Yeah. Where
theme songs. Yeah.
You have your theme song. And me and my friends all remember it. But so Pink Floyd, 20 people.
Pink Floyd, it was like the whole everyone in the boot camp was like, in my company was like kind of silent for a moment, just like, wow, yeah.
So your school after boot camp, that was your Seaman school. That was down in San Diego, I'm presuming?
Yeah, that was also San Diego.
And then you just...
And then you get like, they station you on your boat.
So you were only going in for 2 years, so they basically were not going to put you through a higher end A school because they didn't want to invest the money.
And then I was like, you know what? If I really like it, I'll stay in. Mm-hmm. And if I don't, then I can just get out and just go, do my thing. And definitely want to use up my GI Bill because I, paid into that, and I did use up my GI Bill.
So it was like 2 years reserve after for the 2 years in like that?
Something like that, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have to, when you get out, did you have to come back and muster for that or no?
No, not at all. If it was like, if there was something serious going on.
Something serious, they call you in.
If something serious was going on, yes, I would have had to, maybe possibly, yeah.
I see. It's like the open contract.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
So you're in that school. You probably partying at the EM Club on the San Diego base or going to Tijuana.
Yeah, it was great fun, man. We had all kinds of you guys.
Did you go to Mexico?
I went to Tijuana a few times. Yeah, that was definitely a trip to be able to go there and just hang out every now and again. Yes.
You know what that place made me think of? Remember the movie Porky's back in the 80s?
Another classic.
Well, there was always that feeling like some big old gangster guy was running these crazy nightclubs or they were friggin' day clubs. I mean, it was popping off like in the daytime.
Yeah,
like 1 in the
crazy.
afternoon,
yeah,
it might
crazy.
as well have been midnight. It was going off in 1 in the afternoon in Tijuana, like it was midnight in the States at the club when it was at its peak.
They had a bar there called Fuzzyland.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that place. But that was pretty crazy things happening in there. And then another funny thing I saw was this guy has he has got a donkey.
Oh yeah.
And it's painted like a zebra. And I'm looking at it, he's all, take your picture with me and my zebra. And then I was like, I'm laughing, I'm kind of pointing, I'm like, that's not a zebra, that's a donkey. He's all, it's a Mexican zebra.
Or they're trying to sell you some chiclets.
Yes, they want to start shining your shoes, and they're like, then they want to get paid.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, I didn't ask you to shine my shoes, man. Get out of here, man. Come on.
You want to know an interesting thing about Mexico now is a lot of people that live in San Diego buy condos there because they built up all the condos like here because they commute to work in San Diego because it's so damn expensive in the States. They go buy twice the house for half the price or a third of the price.
Heck yeah.
What a trip, huh?
Yeah, that's what, I think
it was underdeveloped then.
That's a no-brainer. I mean,
you went from like modern society to something that was 20 years late,
Wow,
a time machine. But so you're in boot camp, and how do they end up picking the Mount Hood for you? I mean, excuse me, A school.
Oh,
my bad.
Well, they picked the Mount Hood. How they picked my boat was they give you a thing and you fill out where you want to go. And someone told me what you got to do is if you want to get stationed in a spot, you put your last choice first and your first choice last. Mm-hmm. And I went, oh, really? No, man. Trust me. So
they want to send you where you don't want to go.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, yeah. So I put on there that I did not want to go to the Bay Area, and I'm just rolling the dice to see what's happened. I'm out of like my home area, and maybe I'll travel. Maybe I'll end up somewhere on the East Coast. No idea. It's a mystery.
Leave it. Yeah, that was the exciting part about our life.
Yeah, and then when you get it back and you're opening up this thing to see where, oh my God, this is good news. I get to see where I'm stationed at. And I look at it.
Your fate was.
I look at it.
Go ahead.
And I'm stationed in West Oakland Naval Supply Center. And I was like, wait a minute.
That worked.
West Oakland. Oh my God, no way. Wow. Hey, imagine that.
Right.
Well, like I wanted to go there. Oh my gosh. And
some big adventure. I'm close to home. I didn't go anywhere.
I was able to go back home on the weekends.
Right.
Literally, like every now and again, I would go home on the weekend.
So, when you had to catch up with the Mount Hood. Did they send you to out here in the Bay Area first?
No.
Or they flew you in a plane?
So
the Mount Hood was underway for the Desert Storm.
So after boot camp, you can go back home for like a little bit to hang out and like see all your buddies and the people that didn't leave.
Like a week or two of leave,
and you're just like, wow, and then you're feeling all special, like you just like did something, you just made this big accomplishment, and you're like, it's like, yeah, this is great,
Dad's taking you out for dinner. There you go.
Yeah, they're like all happy. Oh my God, look what the military did to my son.
Oh wow,
this
anymore.
is great. Wow.
You're not going to be an artist. You're going to be a man now.
Yeah. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So now, I'm like, no, I'm still going to art school though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still going to do that. Still thinking about that. Yeah, I'm thinking, oh yeah, that's something I want to do. Yeah.
He's like, yeah. Just keep doing push-ups, paint some.
Yeah.
shit.
So then they.
Keep doing push-ups, son. Keep jingling the dog tags.
Yes, something like that. So I end up getting my orders to where my ship, where I was going to fly out to, and my boat is in. They tell me it's in. First, they didn't know where it was.
Yeah.
Took them a little while to find it.
Oh, it's kind of classified. They're not.
I'm like, what do you mean you don't know where I'm supposed to be going? Come on, man. You guys are sending me somewhere, and I'm thinking all I got to do is trek over to West Oakland.
Right.
No, I got to go to where was that? Yeah. They sent me to the Philippines.
Where did you fly out of?
Flew out of San Francisco right here.
Right to PI.
Right to
Or did you
Clark?
Stop,
flew into
stop
Clark.
In Hawaii or
no? Flew straight to
military
Clark.
flight or commercial?
I think I flew into. I went to Alaska first, and then from Alaska I went. It wasn't a straight shot over.
Any
there.
layovers or no?
Yeah, Alaska.
How was that?
Anchorage. I was like, I didn't really get to see much because
Look
I
out the
wasn't
window,
there
see a
very
big mountain,
long.
and
But
then take off.
so well, it's pretty dang cold out here. Let's yeah.
How disorienting is that?
Yeah.
Like,
It's
you
like
go
a
to Alaska,
it was like
get on a plane.
16-hour flight over there, and yeah, that was pretty crazy. So finally get there, and I'm thinking my boat is there because that's where they told me it was. And so I'm like, oh, okay, wow. So I'm hanging out in the Philippines, flew into Clark, bumpy road, on a bus full like military people in military gear and people with M16s. Like,
How long of a ride? Clark is near the capital more, right? And you didn't fly into Subic, or did you
it was
fly close to
quite a trek. I remember looking out the window of the bus and seeing these big oxen with these big horns, and it's all hot and muggy, and they're like running around in like swampland
You're
type
in a tropical
stuff.
island, wondering what the
And
hell.
I'm going,
Yeah.
oh wow.
This ain't Oakland.
I am definitely a long way from home.
So you flew from Clark. I don't know exactly where Clark is. I'll have to look it up.
I
later.
don't even know the
Well,
geography
I'm just
well enough
wondering
to
if that's
know, but it
closer.
was quite a trek.
So it's not near Subic. So you had a long drive.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't quite near it, but yeah, it was quite a trek on a bus. It was just like people with the M16s looking like they were ready to start shooting out the window or something, and I'm like,
Whoa.
wow, this is kind of a trip.
There was like a local kind of militia or terrorist cell called called the MPA back then.
No, there was these guys looked like they were ready to go throw
They were
down.
ready because these guys used to try to jack the buses, and they used to bus jack, and so. That's why the military was ready to rock.
Okay, yeah.
So you may not have known that.
I didn't know that, but they looked like they were looking out the window and ready to just start like locked and loaded, ready to just start like pepper spraying something, and I'm just like, well, okay, is this normal?
Yeah, where are we going? Is this Fidel Castro?
Yeah, and you don't want to. I didn't want to just start asking questions and look like I didn't know what was going on either.
You're just like,
so.
yeah, hold your gun,
Yeah. Gotta keep our
Affirmative.
troops safe. Way to go! Yeah, you guys are doing a great job.
So you get to Subic. The base is nice in Subic.
Yeah, it was pretty decent. I mean, yeah, I was like, yeah.
So how many days were you there, you think?
I was there for like about a week.
So you get
And
to
then
go-
they told me the boat's not here, man, and you got to go now. We're gonna put you on a plane and send you to Okinawa, Japan.
Well, so let me backtrack Subic, though.
Yeah,
Did you get to go downtown and party downtown?
got to check it out. Yeah, it was pretty neat.
Kind of blow you away?
It was definitely
How did that compare
like
to
out of my
Tijuana?
element. Oh my god, yeah, it was. Yeah, it was a lot different. It was a little different to Tijuana.
Right?
Yeah. You were just like, this is
There's
definitely.
thousands of women waiting for you outside going,
Yeah.
hey, handsome.
They're literally like, you got rock star treatment. Like you're like somebody like you're somebody like that they want to know, and you're just like, oh hey.
You're like, oh.
Whoa. Not
I'm flying around.
Wow, this is a
I
little
want to be an
different.
artist, but we get to fly. We get to take
Yeah.
a dangerous trip on the bus.
And I'm going to be on a cruise. I'm going on a cruise for like 2 years. Yeah, life is good.
You haven't swabbed any decks at this point?
No, I have no idea
You have no
what-
idea that you're in for the hard
No
grinding
idea
work of
what
a-
exactly
of a
is going to
deck
happen.
seaman.
So, yeah. So,
Like, maybe they'll have me steer the ship.
yeah,
once in a
maybe.
while.
I don't know. I thought I was going on a cruise. Yeah. Well, I didn't think that, but that's what I'm telling myself.
So was it a trip? I mean, your money goes so far there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. You could spend $20 and party like a rock star and have change coming back and be
Right.
like, wait a minute. And then it's like Monopoly. It's like you're holding on to all this money, and it's like a lot of money to them.
Yeah.
To you, it's like Monopoly money, and you're just playing the game Monopoly, and you're just like, whoa, this is great. Oh my God, this is, wow.
Did you try any of the Bullfrog or the Mojo?
Yeah, tried some of that stuff. It was,
That's the craziest drink in the world.
yeah.
I remember the first time I drank it, they warned me about it, and I'm like,
Oh yeah,
I
this
can
is
drink
like
anything.
Kool-Aid, man. This is good. I don't feel
stand
nothing.
up.
Then that's how it hits you. You're drinking, and all of a sudden you don't feel nothing. Then you go to stand up, and the
Your
table's
legs-
moving.
your
Your
legs-
legs don't want to walk very well, and the room is spinning.
there ain't no other drink I had like that.
No.
I call it the elevator buzz. You
I'm
stand
all,
up,
I think
and your legs give
somebody
out.
might have spiked my drink, you guys, and they're like all like, yeah, I think so. Whoa, hey.
That happened.
Yeah.
I got dosed, and so
You did?
BT3
What?
Gaines.
No
Gaines.
way.
Yeah, these gals tried to rob us. They spiked our drink. I remember walking through. I'm a big dude, and I'm
Yeah.
cruising through the streets, and I'm kind of like happing. I'm like Frankenstein. I'm like, nar.
Knowing that you got spiked.
And little people are trying to run up to me. I don't know that I'm spiked. I'm like kind of in this catatonic,
yeah.
like Frankenstein mode, trying to walk to the gate, like just.
Well, there's a point where I would imagine that you would know that you've
People
been
are like,
spiked
they can see that I'm
to
like
get somewhere
like,
safe.
Well, they can see me, and they're like, "Hey!" These people are like, "Go get the hell away from me!" And I'm just walking to to the base.
Yeah.
And I go, what did I drink? But now, years later, I realized I had been dosing. So was Gaines.
Wow.
He said some girl stole his gold tooth.
Oh, no.
And
No way.
went in his mouth, and then stole his watch or something. I forget.
Oh,
it's on the
no
podcast.
way. Yeah.
You guys
wow.
got to listen to the BT3 Games podcast.
Yeah, that sounds like a good one.
So you go from
PI, Philippines, to Okinawa, Japan, which was really one of the best places I think I've ever been to in my life.
You're an artist.
As far as like,
you're digging the Zen.
Yeah.
Digging the different art.
Yep. Thinking I'm a great artist. Thinking I'm a talent. It's like really great art, talented art. But back then, I really didn't know very much. I know that now about
You started getting
art.
you get exposed to the world. Man.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was quite just like, oh my gosh, it was like, imagine this is how Hawaii is without all the commercialism of Hawaii in your face. And I actually,
take the fishermen's wharfs out of everywhere, like we have.
Yeah, I'm just like, wow, this is great. And then they tell me that my boat is not in actually Okinawa, Japan, while I've been there for 2 weeks, and they're waiting for it, and they're waiting for it.
Are you being put to work at all, or just basic?
I'm working on the base.
Like clean up the barracks, kind of shit.
Yeah, clean up barracks and just kind of like do stuff like I was doing office work for a little bit there, filing papers and just whatever they needed done. And they're just like, hey, we got this guy's here. He can utilize him for whatever you need. And I'm like, oh yeah, right here, pick me. And pretty much whatever they needed. It was pretty easy, casual, like nothing too nothing too difficult. Oh, this is great. And the food was actually pretty good on land base.
Was it like more of a marine base too?
Yeah.
So they had a good chow hall.
Yes. Seems like in being in the Navy, you're always like somehow integrated with the Marines.
Yeah, we're all the same family.
And then there's this sometimes a camaraderie, and then there's this friction where like, we're better than you, and we're better than you, and screw you, we're better. And then that whole thing, jarhead, and then the squid. Oh, the squids. Yeah. And someone said, if the Marines ever give you a hard time, ask him what he got on his ASVAB.
Well, I mean, for you, the ASVAB didn't matter because you were just going in.
I mean, it mattered, but it didn't matter. I mean, I was like,
you could have went other ways, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you're already collegiate. You had some schooling.
Yeah, a little bit. I went to the JC for crying out loud.
What rate do you think you would have picked if you had not been a deck seaman?
I was thinking signalman.
Yeah, like me.
Yeah, signalman was what I was gonna do. Yeah, like that would I like the flashing the light back and forth and actually understanding the Morse code of flashing the light at the ship next to you or across from you.
Yeah.
And okay, this is what they're saying. All right. Tell them. And then, okay, hold on. All right, I just told them that.
Down,
And you're like flash, clip. And then okay, cool. Yeah, that's what I would have wanted to do. I think if I would have stayed in.
I didn't realize what a cool job it was. I said this in another podcast. I'm like, I thought I was going to learn how to land.
I knew how cool you guys had it.
I thought I was going to go land airplanes.
Yeah, you never really know.
I had never considered that it was about communication.
Yeah, so I leave Okinawa, and I go to Sasebo, Japan.
Okay.
Because that's where they told me Meanwhile, I mean, all this time's going by, and I'm just like going to different places and having a great time. Actually, it was a lot of fun. There are good times to be had out there. It wasn't all like, oh my God, this is like jail. What am I gonna do? It wasn't all like that all the time. I mean,
I think you had to get to know the place. So how long were you in Sasebo?
Sasebo, another 2 weeks, hanging out in Sasebo, waiting for the boat to show up. And I'm just like, well, and then I'm just thinking, okay, this is a made-up thing. There is no boat, and they're just telling me this, and they're gonna fly me all over the dang place, and then I'm gonna end up going back to West Oakland because that's where it is.
Well, let me ask you about Sasebo. What did you get to see there or like around that area?
I got to hang out there and check it out. They got a lot of shopping mall type things, and I was out there cruising around, checking out the electronics, the stereo type stuff. And back then, what we think of as electronics,
they were high tech.
It was cutting edge.
Pre-Silicon Valley.
Cutting edge stuff.
That was where all the cool
so I was like, oh my
gosh,
gosh, this is like incredible. I haven't seen nothing like this in the States. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa. Oh my. Wish my friends back home could see this. Yeah. Wow. And it was like, video screens that were like, well, nothing like what we have now. But back then I was impressed.
Tech, yeah.
I was like, whoa. And if you haven't seen anything like that and you see something like that for the first time and you're looking at it, you're like, wow, this is like, the highest tech stuff on the planet at the time was there.
I remember getting a $12 Happy Meal there back in 1990.
Yeah. I went to I think it was one of the A&W or something.
$1.98.
Went to McDonald's, one of those fast food places, ordered a meal, and it was $20, and I got some change back, literally some coins back. I was like, oh wow, it was $20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was expensive.
Yeah.
But I guess there was bars off the base where you could buy your liquor on base.
Yes.
And you could.
If you were old enough
rent a space off the base in the bar. You could have your own liquor. You paid them to keep your bottle in the bar.
Whoa, no way.
You didn't know about that. I heard about it. I never did it.
I wanted to do that.
It's funny.
I got to go back there and see if our bottles are still there.
That'd be funny if it was still there. Yeah, you owe back payments of 25 years.
Okay.
Go ahead. 100,000 to get that.
Go ahead,
Johnny
drink up.
Walker.
Go ahead and drink up. No. That's not mine. I was just kidding.
I had partied hard in my early part of the Navy. This is my coming in. I came in '87.
Yes.
90. By the war, I'd quit drinking.
Oh wow.
So I landed in Japan.
You were going clean and sober?
100%, man. Back then.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm pretty much most of the time I drink 3-4 times a year, maybe
Wow.
5 or 6 now that I've been hanging out with shipmates. But I don't. At this age, man.
Yeah.
You feel like
really
you landed in a garbage bag if you party hard.
Yeah, me and my friend were hanging out at the bar. All of our friends moved away, and it's just me and him. And we're like, wow, this is really cool, man. We get to hang out at the bar on Sunday and watch all the excitement and just enjoy life, and it's kind of cool, man. He goes, yeah, but you got to realize something. And I go, what? And I go, and he's all, we've been doing this for 20 years.
Oh crap.
The same place.
It looked like the movie of Clerks, but in a bar.
Oh my God, yeah. And it's like Cheers. You walk in and everyone knows everyone, and it's like a family environment, and it's like, and then, oh my, yeah.
It was funny. It's like in the Navy, we used to hang out at a bar down here towards Pier 38.
Yes.
And there used to be a bar, they didn't card us, and it was called Bouncer's Bar.
Yes. There was a lot of places back then that didn't card.
I got really into
underage.
the blues out here in San Francisco. Live
Blues?
Blues Blues. I used to go there.
Love
on the
that
wharf.
place.
Yeah. Used to go there on Sunday.
Nice.
But it was interesting because we're out here and just experiencing San Francisco, man. It was a trip. But you'd be at the bar and you'd say, yeah, that's Johnson. He drinks a lot. I'm like, how do you know? Because I see him at the bar. What are you doing there?
Yeah.
But I mean, skipping forward. So you're waiting for the ship.
Waiting for the ship. They're telling me it's somewhere else, or no. Where was I? I was in Sasebo, Japan. It was waiting for the ship. Meanwhile, I'm doing once again, I'm on the base, doing odd jobs for whatever needs to be done kind of stuff around the office kind of thing. And, okay, cool. This is cool. So then in your free time, you get to cruise around and check the place out. So I'm like, wow, what a great thing to do, man. This is going to be fun.
Yeah.
So I'm going out there and just checking out the world, place I never been to before. Walking around, I'm okay. I know how to do this. I'm going to pick a landmark, and then when I need to come back, I'm just going to find that landmark again. And I go,
nothing's written in English.
Yeah, so I'm like, hey, I'm thinking to myself, that battery machine right there, perfect landmark. That's going to be my landmark. Now I can just cruise around and check all this stuff out and see what's going on. See what the locals like to do. So I'm cruising around, and about 2 hours later, I'm like, okay, now I'm going to go back to the boat now, or not back to the boat, but I'm going back to the base. So I decided, okay, I'm going to go back to the base now. And I cruise back to the base, and I'm cruising back, and I'm like, okay, find my landmark. And I'm looking for it was a battery machine was my landmark.
Yeah.
Figuring, what are the odds of, it's a battery machine. How many battery machines could there be? And literally, there's one on every corner that I look at.
Oh, yeah. No more bread.
Totally.
Like I said the other night, no more breadcrumbs to find your way back out of the forest.
Yeah, it threw me off. So I'm like, oh, God. And I'm trying to, find my way back. And it's go down one street, literally walking around for 40 minutes, still lost, trying to talk to people that do not speak English.
Nope.
They only speak Japanese, and they're looking at me kind of laughing.
Entitled.
They're kind of looking at me. They're kind of looking at me laughing, and finally I meet someone who's kind of doing the pointing gesture thing, and I'm like, okay. Then pointing which directions to go, and I'm kind of, okay, yeah, okay, yeah, okay.
So, So the ship rolls in. You're staying in the barracks.
Yeah, the ship rolls in. There's a ship's here. I'm like, yeah, right. Ship's here. Okay, yeah. All right, and then no, it really was. So I get to finally go to the ship, and it was just like, yeah. So I finally get there, and it's just like, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. All right, yeah, this is great. And I get on the boat and cruising back to the Bay Area.
Who met you first on there? Who do you remember meeting when you came on the ship?
Oh, who did I meet first on the ship?
They just walk up the quarterdeck and they go, "You're
yeah.
going to deck," or
yeah, no, I walk up, show your ID, and they're like, okay, and you're like, and they like to mess with the new guy.
Of course.
Yeah, so I'm like, wow, this is great. So, like my first couple days there, I'm seeing guys get told, hey man, can you go get me some, and they make up some weird thing. Go get me a BT punch. Go down and see the BTs and get a BT punch. Like, okay, cool. Go ask for Gomes, I think it was. I think, okay, yeah. So a guy would go down there and say, hey, I need a BT punch from, is Gomes here? BT Gomes, the biggest dude in the place. Stand on BT, go, you need a BT punch? And he's all, yeah. And he smacks the guy in the arm so hard he had a bruise for like 2 weeks.
Or male buoy watch.
So when they told me to go get a BT punch, I'm, oh yeah, okay, I'll go get one, no problem. I took off for like an hour, and then came back. I wasn't gonna fall for that one, so I came back. I'm like, man, you know what? I went to go get one, but he wasn't there, and then I went back, and he wasn't. And they're like, all right.
Who was your LPO? Who's your lead petty officer then?
Who was that?
Or who was your chief or?
Chief Stofford.
Chief Stofford?
Chief Stofford was there. Yeah.
Okay, I've hung out with him. He lives out here.
Yeah, he lives out here. He's a local.
He came out to the reunion.
He loves it out here. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he lives East Bay, far east.
Well, still, I mean, still close enough that
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So you came on the ship. What kind of duties did they have you doing right away?
Oh yeah, the first day they picked me, and they were like, "We got something for you. We got a job for you. Come with us." I'm like, "All right, cool." So, you need to put this on. It's a one of them. What do you call it? When you hang a guy over the side, you got to suit up.
Oh, the harness.
Safety harness.
Yeah,
Putting on a safety harness. Got a rope tied to my back. We're in the middle of the ocean. And I'm like, okay, what exactly did you say it was going to be doing exactly? Oh, we need you to paint the anchor because we're going to be coming into port, and the port side anchor, we're going to be on the news, man, and we want it to look good. The anchor's got to be looking good. I'm like, well, okay, well, yeah. And two people that I never met before were like in charge of like hanging me like by a rope with a safety harness lanyard tied to my back.
You're an artist. Here's a paintbrush.
Yeah, literally, it's kind of like the treatment. And then they do this to all the new guys, I heard later. So I'm literally like dangling a little bit by little bit. And I have to like, when you're hanging in the middle, you got to kind of swing back and forth to like catch the anchor to hang on to it. So I'm swinging back and forth. I've never experienced heights before in my life. So it's a little bit like, you got to overcome that fear. So I swing in, I grab the anchor with my hand, with my arm, and I'm hanging on to it. And they're like, okay, you got it, you're good, you're doing good. And I'm like hanging on for my life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't move for a second. I'm trying to they're like, we're dropping.
Paralyzed
We're sending down the paint bucket now. And there's a 5-gallon bucket with paint in it and a brush. No, it didn't even have the brush in it. The brush was dangling later. So they swing the paint bucket into me. They're like, go ahead and catch it. And I'm just like, okay, yeah. And then literally can't move. And he's like, why aren't you catching the paint bucket? And I'm all, I kind of can't move right now.
You're
trying to.
I am about 3 stories off the water.
You're way up there. They're like, oh, don't worry. If you fall in, we'll be able to get you. We're gonna swing the boat around and we're gonna slow it down 5 knots, a little bit slower because you're over there. We're gonna slow it down. But hey, if you fall in the water though, seriously, if you do fall in the water, you got about 5 minutes. If you don't panic, if you panic, you got 3 because hypothermia will set in quicker and just don't panic, okay? Oh. All right, yeah, gee, and I'm hanging onto the anchor and trying to catch this paint bucket, and finally I'm able to move again, and I catch the paint bucket and I'm pulling in, and the brush comes dangling down, same thing, and trying not to look down, just looking at what I got to do, and I'm literally painted the anchor from like top to bottom. It's pretty big. I think it weighs something like 5-6 tons.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
It's big, yeah. So I mean, literally like hanging on to it, painting it. And yeah, holy! I'm gonna like come back up and I'm like paint from head to toe, filthy.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wow, that was quite something. Hey, yeah. And I don't know if I want to do that again anytime soon. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, you don't want to tell them that you absolutely don't want to do it because they'll have you do it again.
So what was the rest of the time like? Doing PMS, paint chipping?
I was like, they give you the tour of the boat, and it's an ammunition and supply ship.
Yeah.
Loaded down, like a warehouse style with like 1,000-pound mortars.
We have moved locations. This is the second part of the podcast. Ran out of memory card. Had to go shopping. Witness a assertive shoplifting.
Yes.
Basically, kind of upset poor homeless guy that was like, "This is mine."
I'm taking it. What are you gonna do? And he's walking out with it, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Sir, wait here. Sir, wait." And he just walked out.
It wasn't worth the hassle.
Yeah.
The security guard wasn't going to take a fist to the face for it. There's no way.
He was going for a bag of chips, and he was determined to get that bag of chips, and he.
I hope he enjoyed them.
I hope so, man.
You know, but so back to getting on the Mount Hood.
So we're where we left off. I'm walking down this aisleway where we're on an ammunition and supply ship, loaded, fully loaded to the T, loaded down with 1,000-pound mortars, like warehouse style, just staged everywhere. And I'm seeing this stuff for the first time. And they're like, okay, this is the deal. If anything happens and if we get hit, the good thing is you won't feel a thing. You're going to be vaporized in like faster than you can blink an eye. And it's going to be 5 miles, the explosion would be 5 miles wide and 5 miles deep. And the only thing that they might find is a piece of the anchor.
Maybe,
yeah. And the anchor's like a big 6-ton piece of metal that's like solid. And you're like, oh, hey, they might find a piece.
So you were on there, you were standing, you were just there for inspections and moving ammo and stuff. What were you doing?
Well, I'm there showing me, giving me a tour of the place, and he's like, don't worry, man. These are perfectly safe. And he takes one of the chiseling hammer, and he's chipping away at a 1,000-pound mortar to show me that it's safe after he just, like me and a couple other guys, after he just said, if we have something happen and it's a catastrophe situation, 5 miles wide, 5 miles deep, flash a light, everything's gone, and they might find a piece of the anchor. He's chipping away at it with a hammer. Pieces of the mortar are falling to the ground, and I'm watching this happen. I'm going, okay, yeah, that's good and all, but I don't know if we should be doing that, man. And he's like, oh, no, I'm showing you that it's safe. And he keeps going, and I'm like, all right, that's cool. Yeah, I think it's safe, but yeah, we don't need to do that anymore. And
I don't know what he was proving. Maybe it's like kind of riding your bicycle backwards with no hands.
Scare the new guys is what he was trying to do. I'm like, okay.
I don't think it's good practice. So whoever that was, definitely a box of rocks, man.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, well, hey, can I try that? Hey, I wasn't like, people weren't lining up to do that.
So you're on the Mount Hood. We stop where, like Hawaii or Guam on the way back, maybe one stop.
Yeah, it was kind of neat. I think we did we were vert repping and unloading some ammunition, 1,000-pound mortars, where another ship comes up beside, like across from you, and you're cruising parallel to each other. You shoot a rope over with a wire, and then you pull that rope up, and it's got a wire attached to it, and there's a high wire.
Yep.
Between the two ships, that's tensioning and it's like releasing and tensioning as the ships move to compensate for the movement on the water. And there's like, waves are pretty good, man. And we're just sending 1,000-pound mortars, 3,000 pounds packages at a time from one to the other. And okay, this is to the aircraft carrier. And I'm like, wow, this is kind of neat. Yeah, we just had a guy before you got here who was, the line snapped and
took off his leg, I think.
Yeah.
Well, didn't you see that in your seaman training where they talked about ropes and all that?
I saw some things, but
it's kind of like blood on the highway.
To see it on video and to see it in real life is like totally different experience from what I would imagine. I didn't actually see it, but I heard about it. So if the line snaps, basically get the F out of the way. That's what they said.
Did you see anybody ride the bosun chair between ships on that line?
Yes, I did. I did see somebody ride across on that line. And you're above the water, 2 ships. You're on one ship and you want to get to the other one and they need to send somebody over. They got a chair and it's got a thing on it and you're just hanging on. Yeah.
It's kind of like a zip line between the ships.
Yeah. And if you fall in the water, you got 5 minutes in the water, we might be able to, we'll be able to spin the boat around and get you. But there's a wire there. There's no way they're going to get you out of the water.
Did they put you on mess cook duty when you first showed up?
Yes, I got to do that. That was pretty fun.
What part of the mess cooking did you do?
I just did a little bit of everything in the kitchen. I mean, I've always worked in kitchen. High school, I was working at like Sizzler and like stuff like that. Yeah. And then I went to Cattleman's and was flipping steaks at Cattleman's and just, stuff like that. Yeah.
So no big culture shock for you.
No, it wasn't. But I was actually fit right in and I kind of knew what I was doing. Kind of thought I did anyway. And it was all right.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But I wouldn't want to be a cook in the name. It wasn't something that appealed to me to the point where that's what I wanted to do because that's what I was doing in high school and I wanted to get away from my town and do something different and experience other things and somehow it just like happened to be one of the same things.
Was it your first time in Hawaii when you stopped there with the ship? What did you think?
That was nice. That was another really good time, right up there with one of the really good times of Hawaii. Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, because I had 2 weeks in Hawaii, rented a car, drove around the island. It was Oahu and North Shore, swimming in the water, checking out sea turtles swimming by, and new experience being away from home and all. I was like, wow, this is Hawaii. Not like I would have been able to like go to Hawaii in my 20s.
What's funny is we were trying to get away from that. Now we look at that, we're like, what were we running from?
No, I wasn't running from Hawaii. I wanted to stay in Hawaii.
No, I'm talking about the Navy in general. Like, it was a permanent adventure. You just realize it later.
It was, man. It was pretty cool. But it was just like... But at the same time, I wanted to pursue other things and get out and see what else is out there and continue another adventure that was, hopefully just as exciting or more exciting.
So, we get back from Desert Storm. We land at Concord. And you're like,
I was coming back.
Yeah.
On the boat. Just on the boat for it takes 16 days to come back from Japan or something like that. And we're coming back and they're making a big deal about the fleet admiral coming in to visit and he's going to be checking out the boat and it's a big deal.
Yeah.
So we're all standing on the flight deck and like at attention and mustered up and the helicopter lands and fleet admiral gets out and they're everybody's saluting and it's this big oh my gosh the king is here, what kind of thing. And first thing he does, he gets off the helicopter, talks to the officers in charge, and then he literally I'm trying to keep a low profile and I don't want people even knowing who I am, and I'm thinking I'm doing a good job. He somehow sees me and walks straight from where he was straight to me. Of course, I'm saluted right away, and he says, he's shaking my hand. He salutes me, and he shakes my hand. And he's all, you guys did a really good job, and I just want to say thank you for your hard work.
He didn't know that you weren't in the Desert Storm. He just
no way of knowing.
Yes, thank you for complimenting me for hanging out in Japan and
I didn't say anything.
And the Philippines.
I couldn't just say, hey man, I've been on vacation and I'm on a cruise, man. I don't know what happened, what everyone else is doing, but you're welcome, man. No problem. Anytime. I'll go on a cruise anytime. Yeah. No, I couldn't just say that. So, and then I'm saying, thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. And then people are looking at me I'm what the hell? You weren't and they know that I wasn't there, but at the same time, I can't what am I supposed to do?
So we get back, we had a couple more ports. We went to Oregon for the Jazz Fest. What did you think about that?
Yeah, that was a lot. Oregon, another yeah,
Blues Festival.
Yeah, another really good time.
Downtown Park, Portland.
Victoria, Canada, and all that Oregon, and like all that. Just wow, yeah, that was. I would want to go back there again. I think one day just to see it again. Yeah.
So who did you kind of make buddies with? Who were your hangout buds?
I was hanging out with Hammett, a couple other people, English. A few other guys in the crew that I was hanging out with at the time. I don't really talk to too many of them anymore, but Hammett, English are really like the two that I talk to the most still.
Yeah.
Hammett's in Clearwater, Florida. Giving a shout out to you. And English, he's changed his last name is now Rudd, and he lives in San Diego or Sacramento actually. Yeah.
Okay.
Sacramento. He likes the Sacramento area. He's had the same job for like 20 years now, something like that. Homeowner, married, kids. Both my buddies married, homeowners with kids and stuff, and they're really doing good things.
Well, you're the artist. You're living the life.
Living the dream, man. I'm the art, doing the art stuff, and so in that, like, in the past 20 years, I think I've come a long ways with my art skills and developing it, and it's something you got to work at and use the discipline that you learned in the military to actually give you the drive to actually be able to do it.
Where did you get off the ship at when you get out of the Navy?
West Oakland.
West Oakland?
West Oakland. West Oakland Naval Supply Center was pretty much my main spot. It was like it was kind of a strange spot because it was kind of like tucked back in like a ghetto area.
Industrial, yeah. Empty.
And there was a bar.
It's a ghost town.
You get off at like, what BART was that you got off of to get there? West Oakland BART?
West Oakland, yeah.
Yeah.
East 13th.
And there was this place called Esther's Orbit Room.
Yeah. I partied there.
You didn't remember? I was like kind of scared to go in there at first because I was like, Esther's Orbit Room, what the? Oh my gosh. You sure it's cool to go there, man? And they're like, what do you mean? And I go, I don't know. I'm just thinking that if I walked in there, the music would stop and everybody would be like wondering what was going on and why I was going in there. Not a local native, like a local of that area and that hood. So it's like, is that an issue?
Yeah.
I didn't know. But yeah, it was quite an interesting spot. And then my friend Horton, his car broke down in front of Esther's Orbit Room. So he was like, shoot, my car broke down. So he walks up the street to make a phone call. To like get it, make a phone call, AAA or something to get a jump start. He walks back to his car and like his car doesn't look the same anymore. Things are missing and he's like, oh my gosh, whoa. So he goes back to make another phone call and came back again and his car was on blocks.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a dangerous area. There's some really rough projects.
Like they said.
BM3 Teresi was shot at driving to work. They eventually caught the guy.
Literally.
There was some gang, like to get you in the gang, you had to drive down the road and shoot somebody.
Yeah. Wow.
So, you didn't know that.
Well, I knew that it was a like kind of a dangerous area, and they were just kind of like they give you advice on that walking around that area. They said, put your wallet in your front pocket and be goddamn careful. That's what they said.
So what was in the last 25 years or whatever it's been since you get out?
Oh wow, yeah.
Have you ever looked back and what do you think about it?
I ponder on the memories and what it was like and how it was and stuff. And yeah, it was definitely a notable chapter in the book of life, man. Yeah. Right.
It's a trip.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, still a trip out of wow. I recommend it for anybody who's thinking about it. Yeah. I would recommend it and say, yeah, it's definitely, you would be glad you did it, and you probably wouldn't want to do it again, but you'd be glad you did it. It's a noteworthy thing to do. Yeah.
They used to tell me when I was younger, they're like, hey man, you're gonna wish you were back here one day. I'm like, no way.
Yes, they said that to me. I remember I'm like walking to the soda machine just about the time I'm getting I already put in the papers to get out.
They tell you you're gonna go flip burgers?
They told me all kinds of stuff, and may have been right, may have been wrong, regardless. So I'm gonna go buy a soda. I'm wanting to go to the soda machine, and I'm walking to the soda. I got my quarters, and I'm like, doing the flip the quarter, catch it. Guy's waxing the floor, and he's got it roped off. I don't see any wax on the actual floor. So I'm like, it's just stripper. He's just stripping it. It's okay to walk on a floor if it's got stripper on it, as long as it's not wax. You're not gonna mar it at all. It's the black and white checker thing that they really liked, for some reason.
Linoleum.
So, so I walk across the roped off line, and I'm putting he's like, hey, McCauley. And I go, yeah, and he's all, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, buying a soda, man. And he's like, oh man, can't you see I'm waxing the floor, man? I say, well, you know what? I don't see any wax on the floor. Nothing's getting scuffed, and you only got stripper down, so I don't see what the big deal is. And he goes, McCauley, I can see why you're getting out. And then I looked at him and I said, well, I can see why you're staying in. And popped my soda open and walked away and had a great day the rest of the day.
So Chief Stoffer was a pretty cool guy, I take it.
Oh, yeah, he was cool, man, definitely.
A lot of people love him, so.
Definitely had some good times. He made it interesting.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's for sure.
He kept it.
Yeah, him and Bosun Sanders, between the two of them, oh my gosh.
Yeah, Bosun Sanders, a lot of people are...
He was like the Marlboro Man. His skin was like he had the wrinkly Marlboro Man, like looked like he'd been at sea for like 40 years and just crusty leather skin, and he smoked, and he just looked like the Marlboro Man kind of.
He's still here.
He's still here.
Yeah.
But where's he at?
He's trying to come out to the bay. He just put a thing on. You got to look on the Mount Hood group.
Oh my God, yes, I do, man.
Yeah,
wow.
You remember that group, or do you know about it?
I know about it. I haven't been checking it too much, but yeah.
Yeah, the Marlboro Man, I dated a girl whose parents owned the Marlboro Man Ranch. I hung out on it. What a trip, huh?
Yeah, man, what
Weird.
A coincidence. Yeah.
What a strange circle of life.
Yes.
But I don't know. It's been a cool journey for you, and you got something in common with everybody that rode on that ship.
Yeah, it's never a dull moment. I tell you what.
So getting out, I mean, was it a big adjustment, or was it like...
There's a little bit of it's like a culture shock when you get out. There is an adjustment. It's weird. I don't know how to explain it, but things are just different. And then you get out, and you got this attitude you're better. You're not better, but you got this power about you.
More squared away. Yeah.
You're squared away, and you're more refined, and you just feel like you're better than normal people because you are squared away and you are disciplined.
Right.
Yes. And you also have this gift of being able to tell people what they want to hear to get the good grades in school. And then for the first time, I got straight A's when I started going to art school. Straight A's for the first time in my life.
Because after swabbing decks, carrying
after
garbage,
doing all that, and
painting
the anchor, chipping the paint on the side, and just
it seemed like a downhill sprint.
Moving bombs, and it was just go to school and just knowing what to tell people and how to communicate on that level, and just have the self-confidence of when you say something, you put self-confidence behind it. That also goes a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a trip. And now, the other day, and this is for entertainment section, you got to tell me about the UFO story out at sea.
Oh, yeah.
Because we were talking about it on the phone. I have yet to have one of these, so this is the first one, and I'm going to put it in the headline. So they're going to have to listen all the way through the episode to get to this part.
Late one night, guy on aft lookout says to his guy who's under instruction, he says, hey man, I want you to report that I see a plane coming up at names the coordinates, the degrees of it, because you're supposed to name everything.
180.
180, there's a plane coming up, it's flying in, and just kind of report it, just go ahead and report it to the radar, right? Yeah, go ahead and do that. Okay, cool, yeah. You got a plane coming up. Radar's like, yeah, we don't see a plane coming up. Can you do me a favor and keep an eye on that? You guy under instruction, who's UI, who's your trainer, you're training the guy, and you're telling him, okay. They tell you
under instruction.
Yes, they're telling me that they want me to keep an eye on this thing because they don't see it on the radar. Well, it's right there, man. What do you mean you don't take a look out the? All right, well, whatever.
This is on the fantail, on the back of
the
ship.
Aft lookout. That's the last person that's going to see you if you fall overboard, and you hope they're not sleeping.
Yeah.
So the light all of a sudden moves at supersonic speed. and gets like right next to the boat, pretty much. And they're like, wake up the captain, and like when I hear it didn't make a sound, it just stops, shoots a beam down that you can actually see travel, that you can actually see the beam of light travel down to the water, beaming the water. I mean, I don't know if it cared or knew or what it thought of us being there.
Yeah.
So like, oh, that's kind of cool. It's a cool, yeah, okay. And
so is this secondhand account, or you were there, or?
I didn't actually see this, but a lot of people did.
How many guys? Name the names. I can hunt them down for the podcast. We're gonna have to do an investigation. Because just like you,
find out if this is really true.
I was master at arms, so I think I'll figure out if they're lying.
All right. You will.
No, they didn't teach us anything.
Right,
there,
so anyways.
We didn't learn much about put handcuffs on and guard the restricted man and pick people up from
the
jail.
person you want to talk to is Hammett.
Hammett?
Yeah, Hammett would be a good one. Yeah.
Who else do you recall?
I think Cood. And the captain of the boat.
Okay.
They woke him up and asked him to come to the. They said at like 3 something in the morning, and asked him, "Can you please come to the? We need you to, sir. We need you on the bridge." Well, okay, yeah. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. You don't just wake up the captain to like bring him to ask him to come up to the bridge to check something out. You just don't do that. So apparently it's hovering next to, on the port lookout, hovering, and it's big, ginormous. And then all of a sudden it starts like this vibration thing, and then it like vanishes with a blast of green light that just whoosh.
Yeah.
And the whole sky turns green.
Wow.
And it's gone. It vanished. In that cloud of green, it was gone.
So there was like 6, 7, 8 guys.
Yeah, that are like on watch, and whoever's on the bridge, and whoever happens to be. And the next, yeah, Fleet Week is this week, by the way.
Yeah, we get sailors walking by us in their dress blues.
That is why. So, how ironic is that? So, anyways, yeah, that's what happened, and it just and like my friend was like, he's all, dude, I never believed in that UFO type stuff till I saw this thing, and I was.
So there's a whole bunch of guys talking about it.
There's a group of guys, yeah, and then the next day at breakfast, they were like, what you saw last night was a U.S. Air Force top secret experiment kind of like attitude, and and like, oh, that's what that was, phosphorus rocket used for lighting up battlefields at night. Oh, that's what that was, and yeah. And it was just it was just a strange story. One of those.
Some things, those canopy, like parachute, light up things.
I mean.
But it's not going to take off.
Not going to vanish. I mean, whoa! I was like, it's gone.
I mean, somebody could have been sniffing some paint thinner, but there's too many of them.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, they had some good paint thinner going around, and then had to explain it the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there was the other good incident was, I was on the bridge, and we were actually had a guided missile cruiser, U.S. military, government, Navy, coming at us at like top speed, and then stops, locked and loaded on us. I saw things pointing at the bridge.
You weren't playing war games. It was just
no.
normal.
We were like, what the heck? Is this a drill? Is this some kind of what the? And I think they even had to announce on the PA system, this is not a drill. This is not a drill.
Yeah. That
whole thing. And then the conning officer was like, this is Ensign Emmy, conning officer of the USS Mount Hood. I have like command of the ship. Conning officer is like the captain of the boat of the ship. Conning officer assumes all responsibility of that ship unless the XO or the CO walk on deck of the bridge. And she was like, we are a United States military, explaining who we are. Mm-hmm. Please stand down, and trying to establish comms, and there was no comms to be established, and they're like not knowing who we are, and they can't figure out
they couldn't read the call sign.
AE-29 on the side says we're a ammunition and supply ship. Isn't there a book that tells you that somewhere?
What's crazier for me is as a signalman, I would have been already recognized on that. They would have been talking to me, flashing lights.
How does this even happen? Yeah.
Wow.
So then, like, finally, somehow there's communications are established, and they're like, there's a big like misunderstanding, thought you were someone else, had you mixed up with somebody, and like, what the? Do you realize if you would have launched one of those, you would have been gone too?
Yeah.
5 miles wide, anything in that vicinity.
You're gonna blow up an ammo ship right next to it. It's like a truck full of dynamite, and you get a 357.
Yeah, and
you're just shooting bullets.
If there's another truck full of dynamite next to that, that's also gonna go. So you could take down the whole, like, oh my God, what are they thinking?
You might as well just take like a big old gas tanker, truck, and roll up to it with a flamethrower and a machine gun and stand next to it.
Yeah. They were always like, oh, but don't worry, when we're traveling with the fleet, if anything happens and a torpedo is fired at us, a submarine is gonna come by and take that hit for us.
Yeah, right.
And they're like all serious, like, yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's not. I'm like, no, there's not. Why are you?
I think that rates somewhat.
Why are you bullshitting me like this?
That's not the submarine's job.
Well, they were trying to say that somehow we were safe.
This is like
we're in the safest spot you could be.
This was bosun mate philosophy 101.
Yeah.
Theory, right?
Yeah.
That's not how it works.
Yeah.
The ship that's supposed
to... Like, go get a yard of water line, and they send you on a mission, and you're like, okay, and there is no such thing.
In a battle, when you're in a battle group, the ones that are supposed to be guarding the carrier and all that stuff are the frigates. They're the ones supposed to draw.
Because they're also the fastest.
I don't think they are the fastest.
No? Really?
No, because some ships had nuclear power, some ships didn't,
okay.
and
Yeah.
I really...
We had twin props, didn't we? Or were we a single prop?
I might have been single. We only had a top speed of 20 knots.
Yes.
We were a slow mover.
Yeah. Like I said, 16 days to get back from Japan on a boat versus 16 hours in a plane.
Right.
There's quite a difference.
16, either way.
And you find out if you're seasick right away, too.
So, it's been so many years. What do you miss about it, or what did you miss?
Someone asked me if I missed the food.
Yeah?
I said I missed every meal.
So, you get out in what year?
In 1991, I think it was actually, yeah.
Wow.
1992. It was 92.
And then you went right to your college?
No, not right away. I got out of the military, and I was figuring I was going to hang out back at home for a little bit and chill for a minute, because I went through the military, man. It was
unwind.
Quite an experience. I need to take a year off. I don't know. And I moved back home with my parents, and my dad wasn't too thrilled about that idea. He was like, no, oh no.
Okay, now join the Marines.
He's like, no. He's like, you need to get a full-time job and go to school.
Yeah.
So I was like, whoa, wait. No. You said you were gonna go to art school. You're going to art school like ASAP, like yesterday. Sign up and go.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I went back to art school because I did go to. I think I went to a semester of art school before I joined the Navy.
So you used your GI Bill?
I did use the GI Bill later on, yeah. In my first semester of art school like I said, I wasn't like as focused as I was in school. I didn't even really like going to school and doing all that learning stuff, and just like I had better things to do, I think, is what it was. I was just bored with school. I was like, whatever, and then like I said, I didn't do too good I did all right, but I didn't do like spectacular. Then after the Navy, after coming back from the military, straight A's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you went and got your degree from art school and pursued multitude of careers and still holding down the fort in San Francisco.
Yeah, I was a digitizer at an embroidery company for 6 years, digitizing embroidery.
Cool.
And then, that job I got laid off just before 9/11 happened, and that was quite an experience. That was all of the company kind of got downsized and then moved and bought out. And before it got outsourced, it shrunk down a little bit, and then all of a sudden everyone around me is getting laid off or fired, and they were coming to work going, oh my God, I think today's my last day, man, and it's good working with you, man, and I hope not. And really a couple weeks later, today's my, and then finally they're gone, and then you're doing not only your job, but you're doing the next guy's job who used to be there. So then you got to do that job, and then by the way, after you do that, we need you to do shipping and receiving, because we can't really
fill
afford
up the vending machine after you make the coffee.
Yeah, make sure you put it. Oh yeah, I'll fill up the vending machine. Where's the candy at? Yeah.
So now you're an artist. You're.
Yep, I'm pursuing my art
You're pushing it out. You don't know it's going to manifest somehow.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty determined that it will. I'm drawing every day for like 3 weeks straight to get my drawing down really good, and I'm at the point now where I'm really liking it. Because I was doing a lot of actual painting. I painted every day for like 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
Just paint. That's it. And then I was like realizing that I was doing really nice paintings, and I'm happy with my color skills. But my drawings, I weren't like, the perspectives were a little off. They weren't always on, but I relied on my paint skills to make a good painting out of a shitty drawing.
Yeah.
And I wasn't satisfied with that anymore, and that's why
You're going back to the base.
I'm going back to just drawing every day. And as I painted every day for 4 months, my drawing did improve.
Yeah.
That's how it works. So you improve. If I can become the master best drawer in the world, my painting is still going to be better than my drawing. The level is always going to be above it. It's just how it works.
I get it.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
So who do you want to give a shout out to that was on the ship with you?
I'd like to give a shout out to David English, Dave Rudd. Actually, his name is Rudd now. Dave Rudd. Give a shout out to him. Jeremy Baker. He's in Ohio, Canton, Ohio. He's doing good things. IT type stuff, low voltage type stuff. He's doing good. And Dave Hammett, I think he actually just got retired from the Coast Guard.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, living in Clearwater. And everybody out there in Clearwater did all right. They fared through the hurricane that came through there, which I was a little scared about that because it looked like that thing was going to go straight up the middle of Florida.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my, not to say that what happened didn't cause a lot of damage and it was horrific.
Yeah.
But if it traveled up the center of Florida, that would have been a whole nother, would have been, oh, jeez.
There's some more sailors, walking by, some corpsmen.
Yeah.
See, I recognize. We got a bunch of sailors walking around. It's Fleet Week. How nice. Here we are doing a podcast.
We're doing a podcast.
25 years later.
Yeah.
And we're the old sailors, and they wouldn't recognize that we'd ever been sailors.
We're the salty dogs now.
Yeah.
So anyways, Jeremy Baker, Dave Hammett, Dave Rudd, giving a shout out to you guys. And hopefully you'll check out the podcast or already have checked out the podcast.
We'll get it to them. We got to get them on the podcast.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome.
Tell them to see me.
Okay, I can do that. I can get them the information.
Yeah, I'm going to wrap this up, but thank you so much for meeting me in San Francisco today, getting this done. I got to get to all of you, you know?
Yeah.
I haven't seen this guy, 25 years?
It's been 25 years, man.
At least.
Yeah, good to hang out again, man. And
Yeah.
talk about the old times. When we used to drink Cisco in Frisco. You remember that Cisco?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that stuff was horrible. I don't even know how